Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors. Saam boer ons vooruit. Hier sal jy boer. Hier sal jy boer.
Al ooit op 'n plaas vakansie gehou? As jy nog nie het nie, word jy dit sterk. Hoe weer?
Dit is sommer ook 'n goeie manier om stadskinders aan die landbou bloot te stel.
En vir die ouers om asem te skep.
Hallo julle, ek is Connie Liebenberg en my gas vandag is 'n kenner van agritourisme.
Hallo julle, dit is lekker om saam te kuier.
Welkom by Nisboere.
In hierdie episode van Nisboere, ons besoek Patensie in die Oos-Kaap, waar Jackie Riddle met draakvrugte boer. Sy staan bekend as Suid-Afrika se Dragon Fruit Lady en het 'n passie vir eksotiese vrugte, wat natuurlik ryk aan vitamiene en antioksidante is. Vandaar vertrek ons na Shea Homestead, 'n veelboerdery wat tydens die pandemie met 'n skrale 24 vierkante meter begin het. Vandag word hier suiwelprodukte, vis en organiese produkte gelewer. Ons ateljeegas is Jackie Taylor, stigter en uitvoerende hoof van AgriTourism Africa, die eerste platform wat toerisme met landboukundige ervarings dwars oor die kontinent verbind. Hier is Corneille en Jackie.
Hallo julle. En baie welkom Jackie, is 'n voorreg om jy vandag hier te hê.
Dankie, Connie.
Jackie, ek weet jy's 'n pionier op die veld van agritourisme, maar vertel ons 'n bietjie van jouself, waar het begin en ja, waar sien die dinge beweeg vorentoe?
I'm a farm girl.
Yeah.
I was born on a farm. My parents were farm managers. Yeah. And I learned a lot about farming because we were very hands-on. My father insisted I had to farm.
Yeah.
And agritourism, what is agritourism? Well, it's about rural preservation of areas. And what does rural preservation mean? It means actually three things. One is you have a look at diversification models. Why are we looking at diversification models? Because of the economic benefits from that. We're talking about the environment. The environment is the socio-cultural environment that we look at, but it's also the environment from an agricultural and from a natural perspective. So we're trying to preserve natural resources while we also concentrate on agriculture. So it's rural development in a sustainable manner, but taking into basically we've got to address all three of those issues when you talk about agritourism.
So ek sien verskriklik uit om 'n bietjie meer te hoor van dit alles, maar ons gaan gou inloer by 'n nisboer in Patensie in die Oos-Kaap.
Sy is Suid-Afrika se Dragon Fruit Lady. Jackie Riddle, stigter van Dragon's Den Exotics, is 'n pionier in drake vrugteverbouing. Van 4500 plante in 2010 tot 'n bloeiende industrie vandag, verander sy die toekoms van hierdie eksotiese supervrug.
When we bought the farm, it was never intended to actually farm. It was more going to be a retirement place. But it had 4 hectares of nachis, and they were looking really old, and we ended up pulling them out, and I was looking at the spare space and just felt I had to plant something there. And I've always been very much of a plant lover, and when my husband went to Singapore, I was hoping he would be able to bring some seeds back for me of something unique. And it started me on a journey to look and see what the Asian countries had as fruit and so on. And I came across dragon fruit. And instead of wanting him to bring back a plant or a fruit or a seed, I fell in love with the exoticness of this magnificent fruit and looking at what its requirements were and the fact that it was grown primarily in the northern hemisphere. I felt that it was definitely an option, given my small amount of ground that I would be able to cultivate on, that it would be ideal niche product for this farm. And here we are. I imported 7 varieties from Australia back in 2009, and something happened. I don't to this day know. They are adamant they supplied me just 7 varieties. But after 5 years, when we started picking the fruit and analysing the inside of the flesh, we had a lot more than 7 varieties. They said they only provided us with 7, so I don't know. We ended up with 22 varieties. And that then started me on a journey to get more varieties and look more into it. And so I've been collecting them from all around the world, and we've just planted a research block, which I'm wanting to do to see which varieties are the most tasty, most self-pollinating ones that produce the most fruit for South African climates. So I'm sitting at about 450 different varieties at the moment, and hoping that they would have all fruited by next year, so we'd be able to get some proper testing done. Everything regarding dragon fruit is different. It is a forest plant that we are growing in the sun. It is a cactus that requires water. It's a plant that needs to be supported. It's a plant that only is going to give you fruit when it hangs upside down. It's a fruit that's epiphyte. It flowers at night, it doesn't flower in the day. There's lots and lots of challenges. But for me personally, I love the challenge. For me, that's what makes it exciting. So dragon fruit is a plant that does not want to go from a cold environment to a slightly warm environment and then back to a cold environment. It attracts moisture, so it gets tiny little bit of moisture drops on the fruit, and if you put it back into a fridge, it rots. So if you, for instance, pick and we put it into a fridge here, even if it is 15 degrees, and we put it into a non-refrigerated truck and transport it at, let's say, 20 degrees, and then back into fridges on the other side, within 10 days, it's starting to get rotten marks on the skin. So we pick, we pack at room temperature, and we process and put it in the trucks, and it goes straight off to the retailers, even if it's on a daily basis. That way we can avoid that condensation problem on the fruit. So we supply local and supermarkets across the Eastern Cape and into the Western Cape in East London as well. Dragon fruit is not a cheap product to buy. It's considered to be on the more expensive side, but we consider the value in what you're getting from the health benefits. So we've tried to sell in loose, where a person can buy and weigh it. But we found a lot of the people prefer to put it into punnets. And we put our sticker on, and that way we know the customers know what is our product. They can be assured of having a fruit flesh, because it's difficult to see what's inside. But they'll know that when they see our Dragon's Den Exotics label, that they're going to get a nice tasting fruit. I think anybody wanting to go into growing dragon fruit, they need to be sure that the area that they're going to grow is ideal. There's not much you can do about your climate. And you can amend it to some extent with shade cloth and stuff. It's going to cost you a lot more money, and then it's going to add other things. I think they need to learn, and they need to get advice, and they need knowledge. Having grown it now for 12, 13 years, it's been, for me, it's easy to grow it. I don't have to spend too much time at this stage now. I've pretty much got the knowledge under my belt. So the area that I'm starting to sort of focus more on now, other than the research of the new varieties, is value added. And that's really an exciting, we've dried it, I freeze dried it. I forgot the fruit in the dryer one night, and it went in an extra 12 hours, and it ended up like crisps. And they are absolutely delicious. So that's very exciting. I then decided to send the leaf off for leaf analysis. The leaf has got a lot of mucilage in it. I sent it off to CSR and had them analysed. And they've got really some magic bullets in for perhaps cosmetics one day. I'm just looking for somebody with lots of money that can invest in this prospect, but I think it has a huge opportunity to perhaps go up against aloe vera. So lots of very exciting things to come.
Jackie Riddle se passie het gehelp om drakevrugte in Suid-Afrika op die kaart te plaas. Terwyl sy aanhou groei en inspireer, lyk die toekoms van die industrie blink.
So wat 'n pragtige insetsel oor nog 'n knap nisboere. Wat is jou gedagtes, Jackie?
Jackie het 'n produk daar wat uitstekend is vir agritourism.
Ja.
It's an educational activity. Many people don't know about dragon fruit in South Africa.
It's still newish, but yeah,
It's still
a new opportunity.
But agritourism, perfect.
Good.
This is exactly what it is.
Okay, dan is definitief op die regte spoor. Nou ja, ons gaan gou winkels toe en dan gaan kuier by nog 'n kookwater nisboer.
Net hierna, ons besoek 'n inspirerende klein boerdery in Pretoria Oos. Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors. Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors.
Welkom terug julle. Vir ons volgende bydrae besoek ons Sheer Homestead, 'n klein boerdery in Pretoria Oos wat tydens die pandemie met 'n skrale 24 vierkante begin het, maar vandag suiwerprodukte, vis en organiese produkte lewer. Geniet die bydrae.
So Sheer Homestead began round about COVID, so 2020, when everything was shut down and we were stuck here in our plot, or on our plot. And my husband and I just sort of looked around and we said, well, we've got all this land, we've got to do something with it.
Ons het begin, ons het baie klein skaal begin, eers met die gedagte dat net, ons produseer net vir onsself, maar ons het baie vinnig agtergekom dat jy baie vinnig meer produseer as wat jy actually self gebruik. Om dit kommersieel ook reg te maak, dat ons nie te veel geld uitgee nie, het ons besluit ons moet groter gaan. Dus ons die groter stelsel begin het, sodat ons ook meer kan die gemeenskap gaan verkoop. Ons het met aquaponika kan ons regtig op 'n baie klein skaal, baie hoë kwaliteit groente produseer. En ons kan ook groente produseer, buite seisoen, wanneer ander boere sukkel met hulle slaai, omdat dit te koud is, sukkel ons nie so baie met aquaponika nie. Jy weet, ons het nie eintlik enige van daai probleme nie. Ons het ons koeie hierso, ons het ons hoenders, ons het ons varke, maar ons het ook, wat ons nou besig is nog om te ontwikkel, is 'n vadderstelsel waar ons eintlik vir al ons diere hierso deur die aquaponiese stelsel die kos self te produseer, sodat ons heeltemal onafhanklik is van enigiemand wat van buite, sodat ons eintlik niks hoef in te koop vir ons diere nie. Maar ons droom is om bietjie groter te raak, en 'n groot ding vir ons wat ons ook gesien het deur ons vriende en so voort, soos die ekotourisme, is daar so baie mense wat net wil sien hoe dit aangaan. So ons gaan met skole ook begin praat, dat skole gaan verbykom en dan net kan sien waaroor gaan aquaponika, jy weet, hoe word koeie gemelk, hoenders, waar kom die eiers vandaan, al daai tipe van goeder. So ons is hier in die stad, so vir ons is dit net ietsie waar, jy weet, almal kan net weet waar hulle kos vandaan kom en dat ons, jy weet, meer kennis vir mense kan gee en vir kinders.
It's not just a lifestyle, it's also an educational part for our children and their friends. They love coming here and always they want to go feed the cows or do something here because it's like coming to a little farm in the city. And it's a beautiful experience for us to share with friends and family and also live it.
Dis vir my die wonderlikste ding as mense in die oggend wakker word en my klein seentjie sê nee, hy gaan nou saam met Jonas die koeie melk en dan stap hy hier uit en dan gaan melk hy saam met Jonas en dis die lekkerste ding en dan kom hy na die tyd, hy's baie lief vir melk, so hy drink dan sy hele koppie melk net so uit.
Every day.
Ja, elke dag drink hy sy melk en ek dink dit is net die wonderlike ding wat ons probeer vir ons kinders ook gee, 'n goeie stadlewe, maar jy weet, maar in dieselfde tyd daai plaaslike plattelandse lewe wat mense ook verstrewe.
I think the biggest challenge, of course, is starting up. You need infrastructure. You need to have capital to begin certain of the things. Like with the aquaponics, you need a certain amount to invest in the greenhouse, the pumps, the seeds, you know. So that is, of course, one of the things. You need to decide if you want to do it, then you need to put money aside or have money aside or get a loan to begin with such a project.
So ek dink een van die groot dinge wat mense ook moet onthou is, dit is moeilik om altyd 'n mark te vind vir jou produkte wat jy verkoop. Want jy produseer spesifieke goeders op spesifieke tye en dan het jy 'n groot aantal sê nou van as jy spinasie aangeplant het jy op een slag het jy baie spinasie en as klein boere is dit baie keer moeilik om net 'n mark te vind. Jy moet met kleiner handelaars gaan praat. Ons het 'n niche produk. So vir ons is dit baie keer ons produkte is baie goed, maar om dit altyd te verkoop teen die prys wat jy actually graag wil hê, is baie keer moeilik. Want dit is baie keer goedkoper om grootskaal kommersieel aan te koop, maar jy weet organiese groente en sovoorts kry jy nie altyd dit uit wat jy eintlik veronderstel is om uit te kry nie. So ek dink dis 'n groot ding wat ons mee om ons produkte te bemark. Ons het daar 'n paar avenues wat ons gebruik. Maar ek dink dit is 'n groot ding vir as jy klein begin, moet jy eers jy moet die verhoudings bou. Ek dink dit is 'n groot ding in boerdery.
So yeah, we have challenges, but luckily we have a community we can turn to help us with those challenges. Same people that went through all the same difficulties, and they tell us, okay, this is what you can do in this case, or this is where you go, this is who you phone. And that makes it easier. But indeed, building connections is very important, networking where you can. Doing your research is another thing, knowing what you're getting yourself into and knowing that you can't just stop when things get difficult. You learn from it, you overcome it, and the next thing you're succeeding. So one must just continue and learn and grow.
Jackie, ja, nog 'n interessante storie. Wat dink jy?
I loved the emphasis on education and educating children and educating adults on what they were doing.
Okay, ja, ons gaan gou winkels toe, dan sien ons julle binnekort.
Net hierna, ons gesels met Jackie Taylor van Agri-Tourism Africa. Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors. Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors.
Welkom terug julle. Jackie, ja, die laaste tyd was plaasveiligheid redelik baie in die nuus, so ek moet jou vra, plaasveiligheid vir agritourisme, hoe voel jy daaroor? Is dit 'n geleentheid nog steeds vir mense wat nou kyk?
I do not believe that agritourism farmers would have not looked after or dealt with the security issue. They know that they've got to deal with it, and they know they want to keep their visitors safe. So I also want to point out that if you have I'm also a journalist, so if you have a look over the 5 crime websites, proportionately the increase in crime in cities is far outweighs any crime in rural areas. So the latest was 7.5. Having said that, any crime is bad. On agritourism farms, all the farms that I've been through, and that is over 10 years now, I've never ever had a single incident, never. And I travel by myself as a woman, never.
Ja, dis goed om te hoor. Want onthou hier by Nisboere, ons werk is ons skep hoop, ons wil vir mense geleenthede gee en dit daarom aantreklik laat lyk daar in die landbougemeenskappe en om dinge anders te doen. So ek weet jy beweeg baie, jy het vir vertel hoeveel plase kom en hoeveel projekte julle mee besig. Is jy dus nog positief oor sê maar Suid-Afrika se toekoms en spesifiek landbou in Suid-Afrika?
Yes, no, I'm very, very positive. And I'll give you an example. I have a group of German and a group of Italian farmers coming to South Africa to meet our farmers, to learn from our farmers. Our farmers do a lot right. And the German farmers, Italian farmers, they get subsidies.
Oh, okay.
So they want to learn from our farmers. They're not here to learn about tractors or whatever. They're here to get the stories from our farmers, how they start, how they cope with threats and opportunities and risks, how they take risks. So they're here to learn. So it's a serious business. So South African farmers, I get requests from Canada, I get requests from Australia, New Zealand, all want to come to South Africa to come and learn from our farmers.
Ja, jy maak dit is nou regtig vir my goeie nuus om te hoor. Ek het al klaar baie weer vandag geleer. Ons het al baie ek die toerisme stories gedek in Nisboere, maar mense dink altyd maar aan die lokale mense en ek weet in die COVID-tyd het dit 'n paar ouens gered wat hulle kon nie hulle gewasse verkoop nie, maar jy kon toerisme kry, maar ek het nog nooit daaraan gedink nie dat jy ook die buitelandse mark kan betrek. Want mense aanvaar hulle kom vir Tafelberg en vir die walvisse. So dit is dan ook 'n geleentheid om jou plaas of jou agrotourisme gedeelte op jou plaas te gaan bemark aan buitelanders.
Ja, groot.
Ek nee, dit is goed om te weet want ek weer eens met die wisselkoers dink ek hulle is nie so prysensitief die buitelandse besoekers nie, so daar's versekerde geleentheid. As jy nou môre so geleentheid moes begin, agrotourisme, is daar spesifieke areas in ons land of sektore waar jy gesê het jy voel daar's groter geleenthede of is dit maar moet jy jou omstandighede vat en nie die beste daarvan maak?
Yes, it's very important that we look at things like a business plan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. Because when we look at a business plan, we look at target markets.
Yes.
And when you look at target markets, you've got to identify what it is you have on your farm that's going to target a specific market, because you need to decide as a farmer who you want on your farm. And that's where things go wrong. That's where agritourism farmers sometimes end up with people on their farms that they don't want on their farms.
Okay,
So a business plan is very important. Understanding logistic and legal requirements, understanding municipal rates and how that applies, understanding how you need licenses to sell food.
Oh yeah, of course.
So and alcohol. So what I really would recommend is that you get expert advice. And actually on our website, I've written all about it and it's free.
Oh, dankie. Thanks.
So, you can just go on the website and read about it or send me a question. But you must know what you're doing when you get into agritourism.
Jackie, verskriklik dankie dat jy so met ons die inligting gedeel het. Ek wens jy kon nog baie langer gepraat het, maar hopelik sien ons jou weer in die toekoms.
Plesier, ek kom terug.
Mooi. En ouer gewoonte, dankie ook aan ons spesiale gaste, julle die kykers.
Goodbye and remember to support our Nisboere.
En net vir ek baie sê, stuur asseblief julle voorstelle van Nisboere idees na die adres wat onder in die skerm verskyn. Volgende week is ons terug met nog kookwater Nisboere. Groetnis.
Hier sal jy boer. Dit is jou land. Dit is die klank wat jou hart dood maak. Hou net aan glo.
Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors. Saam boer ons vooruit.